Hi everyone. Today is my last day being 21 years old, and I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but every day, like my last day of being like any age before it's my birthday, it's a bad day for me because I get so in my head and so existential. Like I just don't do anything. I make no plans with anyone on the day before my birthday and on my birthday because I'm just not fun to be around. I've stopped crying on my birthday. When I was a teenager though, I used to cry on my birthday a lot because I would miss my grandma. But I'm okay now. I just get very pensive and very like this, you know what I mean? Like I'm not fun to be around, but like I just wanted to film this because I need to get this out. I had something really like embarrassing, mortifying happen to me yesterday, and I can't tell you what it is because do you know like the statute of limitations on embarrassing things, like it's a very real thing where like some time needs to pass before you can actually laugh at it and poke fun at it and see it as something that's actually not a big deal. This just happened yesterday, so I can't share it, but just the past 24 hours I've just been stewing in a lot of like fuck that happened, and just a lot of like oh my god, dread, horror, anxiety. Not anxiety, actually a bit of anxiety, but like I'm generally fine. But I don't know, it just got me thinking, and I was like literally the day before my birthday this had to happen. Like why? I feel like I'm starting, but you know what, it means I can start a new age with like a better perspective, but still I can't believe like, but anyways, I just got thinking about all the different times like embarrassing things have happened to me. All my friends watching this, and it's only my friends who watch this anyway, so it doesn't matter. All my friends know that I feel like embarrassing things always happen to me. Like I'm always like, not to sound like so quirky, but like I feel like I'm often put in situations a lot of the time where just like embarrassing things just happen to me. Yeah, I've just been thinking about all the awful times like bad things have happened. Bad things, oh my god, I'm acting like I've been through the worst tragic thing ever. But like one time when I was in it was either year 8 or year 10. I think it was year 10. One time when I was in year 10, in English class, I was sitting at the front because I was a teacher's pet. But yeah, I was sitting at the front of the classroom, and we were all watching a movie because we were doing like a film study. And then like I leaned forward in my seat just to like fix my skirt, just to like shift it a little bit. But in leaning forward, I accidentally farted, and everyone heard me because it was a quiet movie. And I like leaned back very like slowly because I was like, yeah, no way, no one heard that. Even if they did hear that, they're not gonna call me out on it because it's just a fart, right? And then a girl was like, Caitlin, did you just fart? And I was like, yep. And like it was all very funny in that moment to everyone else, but I just remember like going home and thinking like, you really messed it up again today, didn't you, Caitlin? Or like, why do you always do this? And like I'm just like, now I look back at that and I'm like, that's just really odd. Like why would I do that? But like I don't feel the soul crushing mortification that I felt that afternoon when I went home and was like, what the fuck, why do I always do this? I'm just praying to God right now that the mortification that I feel right now of what happened to me a few days ago will get better with time, and I know it will. I know it will get better with time. But like right now, I'm just like, why did I do that? Why did I? Yeah. That was really horrific. I feel like, especially when you're in high school, like everything that you do in high school is just like, it just, in the moment, it feels 10 times worse than it actually is. But what else? One time, what else is, I don't know if I can say this. One time I was, I don't know, should I say this? I'm just trying to think of how many, I feel like embarrassing things happen to me all the time, but I don't know if I can, like, one time I was driving in the car with my sister on the way to work, because like my sister would do tutoring for this kid, and I would just come along in the car and I'd read a book while she was tutoring, because I'm clingy, okay, and I actually really like my older sister, so we were just hanging out together. So while she was tutoring in this kid's house, I was in the car reading a book, and then suddenly I got a really, really bad stomach ache, like bad, like even farting wasn't getting rid of the stomach ache. It was just bad, and I was like, holy shit. And I was texting my sister, like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta look for a toilet. So then I leave the car, and then I start walking through the area. I can't tell you where I was, because I don't want to give my location up on the internet. And I started walking the streets, and then all the shops were closed because it was still like morning, but there was a hairdresser's that was open. So I went into the hairdresser's, and I was like, okay, and it was a Korean hairdresser as well. That's not really relevant to the story, but it was a Korean hairdressing salon. I feel like Koreans cut hair so good. There's something up with that needs to be studied. But then I was like, excuse me, put on my nicest, I'm not fucking crazy face. I was like, excuse me, can I please use your bathroom? And then I went into the toilet and laid the most diabolical shit in that toilet that I'm sure that Korean hairdressing salon has ever seen. I feel like, I don't know what I ate the day before, but it was bad, and I felt so bad. I felt awful. I felt so bad that I had to be doing this in this poor lady's establishment, okay? Because hairdressing is such an honest living. Like, I would have happily shat in a bank or something, okay? But then I'm so sorry, lady, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But then I went and exploded the toilet, and I remember the toilet paper being really thin in that cubicle for some reason. But then I went in, I did my business, I flushed, but there was no spray, bro. There was no spray. But then I closed the lid, obviously, tried to fan with my hands just to get the smell to stop. And then I just felt really bad, right? So awful. So when I finished my business, and I was dizzy at this point, okay, because all the energy it took to drop those logs, it was really taking me out. And then I closed the door, and then I walk out, and I know that I've after all those efforts, that stench is still gonna be there. So I felt like a bit like a hit and run. But I wanted to explain myself. I wanted to explain myself to the hairdresser. I was like, I didn't want to say I just exploded your toilet. I didn't explode the toilet, it just stunk, okay? And it flushed and all. But then after I was finished, I was on my way out to the lady. I was like, okay, I got to say something. And then I was like, thank you so much for letting me use your toilet. Thank you so much. It's just that, I don't know, and I don't know why I said this, and to this day my sister is like, why did you say it? And I was like, it's just that I'm pregnant. And for some reason I thought in my head that if I told her I was pregnant, then she'd feel she'd understand when she went and use the toilet because she's like, oh, that smells like a pregnant lady's shit. I told her I was pregnant, and she's like, and she was so happy for me. I wasn't pregnant. I wasn't pregnant, by the way. I wasn't pregnant. And then I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I was like, yeah, thank you so much. And then I ran out of that hairdressing salon. And then, I was like, why did I do that? But like now I look back on that story and I laugh. You know what I mean?